How Champions Think in Sports and in Life by Dr. Bob Rotella, Simon & Schuster. Dr. Bob Rotella is widely recognized as the world's leading sports psychologist. He's coached everyone from basketball stars like LeBron James to rock stars like Seal. The golfers he's coached have won an astonishing 80-plus major championships. In this book, he tells us, as the title suggests, how champions think in, as the subtitle suggests, both sports and in life. I'm always telling people that I don't care what their families or their schools or their communities said or thought about them. I tell them, you're an adult now, and you get to decide. So what's the decision going to be? You get to write your life story. Will you be heroic or just someone trying to get by? Will you be the star or someone sitting on the end of the bench? Dr. Bob Rotella. I have been privileged to spend my life helping people who want to be exceptional. A desire to be exceptional may not in itself strike you as unusual. Everyone, as a kid, has daydreams in which he catches the touchdown pass as time expires to win the Super Bowl, or she pole vaults 16 feet to win an Olympic gold medal. But I'm not talking about the unrealized fantasies of many adults. I'm talking about a desire so fierce that it changes a person's life. Exceptional people begin with just such ambitions. From them, I've learned how a champion's thoughts are different from the thoughts of most people. That difference is what this book is all about. Dr. Bob Rotella from How Champions Think. Champion Thinking 101. EXCEPTIONALISM. The vital importance of that sort of attitude is the foremost thing I have learned about exceptionalism in my decades of work with people striving to be great. Talent, conventionally defined, is of course part of the equation. As Bear Bryant once said, when was the last time you saw a jackass win the Kentucky Derby? But there are many people with physical talent, just as there are many people with raw intelligence. I would venture that most people are talented in something, whether they realize it or not. What sets the merely talented people apart from exceptional people can't be measured by vertical leap, or time for the 40-yard dash, or length of the tee, or IQ. It's something internal. Great performers share a way of thinking, a set of attitudes and attributes like optimism, confidence, persistence, and strong will. They all want to push themselves to see how great they can become. These attributes and attitudes cause champions to work harder and smarter than other people as they prepare for competition. They help them stay focused under pressure and to produce their best performances when the stakes are the highest. After years of thought and research about the human mind and human behavior, William James wrote this: people tend to become what they think about themselves. There is enormous wisdom in that sentence, and there is enormous hope. It's almost as if exceptional people belong to a special club. In this club, the members know that the average person limits himself. They know that the exceptional person is exceptional in large part because he doesn't limit himself. God, it's all good. Just keep working on your game. Some of my clients have a hard time envisioning themselves with this much confidence. If they're golfers, I sometimes suggest to them that they imagine that God appeared to them and said, "You're going to have a great career. You're going to win dozens of tournaments. You're going to win several major championships. Don't worry about it. You just keep working hard on your game. I've taken care of the results." And then imagine that the vision ended before the golfer could ask God which tournaments he would win and when he would win them. He'd play from that time on with tremendous confidence. He wouldn't know exactly when his wins would come or where, but he'd know that if he just kept doing the things he was supposed to do, the results were guaranteed. He'd step up to the first tee every Thursday thinking, "Oh boy, I can't wait to find out if this is going to be one of my weeks." If you want to transform your life, if you want to grow, you have to change the way you see yourself and the way you respond to the world around you. Just as surely as you would if God appeared to you and told you everything was set. The truth is you don't need to wait for divine intervention to have that sort of confidence. The miracle has already happened. In the creation of the human brain, you need to take responsibility for using it and give confidence to yourself. Train it and trust it. The principle I teach to golfers and other athletes is train it and trust it, which means learn the skill thoroughly, so it's ingrained in your subconscious. Then, at the moment of performance, don't think about it. Trust that your subconscious brain will do its job, but the trusting won't work if the training hasn't happened. Nor will it work if you confuse the subconscious with negative thoughts, fears, or doubts. No matter how much practice a golfer has done to groove a good putting stroke and routine, His stroke will change for the worse if he's doubtful or fearful about a putt. He has to be confident, to believe in his abilities. Here's our new mantra: train it and trust it. Let's take a quick look at both parts. 1. Train it. I'm reminded of some wisdom from Lanny Dasham's son, Troy. In his book Attainment, Troy tells us that average performers practice until they can get something right. Elite performers, on the other hand, practice until they can't get it wrong. Lesser than powerful. 2. Trust it. So, we train it until we can't get it wrong. It's firmly programmed into our subconscious. Then, when it comes time to perform, we trust it. In Overachievement, John Elliott tells us the same thing. We need to have a training mindset and a trusting mindset. Enthusiasm, the catalyst of champions. To borrow an analogy from chemistry, enthusiasm acts like a catalyst that makes all the other attributes of a champion's mind work better. Persistence, to take one important example, is so much easier when you're enthused about what you're doing. Sticking with something you love is like biking downhill. Sticking with something you don't love is like biking uphill. People who go for greatness are going to get knocked down a lot. They'll have difficult times. They'll struggle with doubt and uncertainty. People around them will question the wisdom of their quest. The issue is not whether you'll fail, because you will. It's whether you'll get back up and keep going. It's whether you can sustain your self-confidence and your belief in yourself and keep bouncing back. Failure is only final when you stop striving. Create your own reality. One of the concepts I struggle with when I work with people both inside and outside of sport is reality. My job with such people is to get them to understand and believe that exceptional people create their own reality. The average person won't set a goal unless he thinks, and people close to him think, that he has at least a 50-50 chance of reaching it. That's what the average person considers a realistic goal. The average person takes account of all the information that's out there saying he can't do something. If, let's say, he thinks about committing himself to becoming the best basketball player he can be and getting a college scholarship, he'll be aware of the fact that maybe one high school player in 30 gets a college scholarship. Since that seems to make the odds a lot worse than 50-50, the average person is likely to give up on that goal before he even commits to trying to reach it, settling for mediocrity in high school and giving up the game thereafter. The exceptional person, the person who does great things, doesn't see things that way. The exceptional person has a vision of great performances, of a great career, of a great something, and doesn't care about what others might say or think. He ignores information that suggests his dream is unrealistic. He just sets about making that vision a reality. He sees things before others see them. He creates his own reality. Afterward, other people may say to him, "We knew you could do it. We always sensed you were going to be one of the great ones." But that's probably not what he heard in the beginning. In the beginning, he probably heard, "You have to be crazy to think you can do that." How champions think. The honest competitor understands that while luck affects outcomes, it doesn't affect effort. So he learns to take his pleasure from the daily grind. He understands that life is sometimes going to break his heart. He decides to take his satisfaction from the effort he produces every day. And because he controls his attitude, he gets enormous pleasure from it. He may or may not win ultimate prizes, the championship, the CEO job, the Oscar, but because he has chosen an endeavor that he loves and has talent for, he sees progress every day. He's proud of that. He's happy with that. Viewed in that perspective, life for anyone living in a country like America, a country blessed with peace and prosperity, can be a never-ending treat. You get a chance to see how good you can be at something you love doing. You get to have a ball for many years seeing how many wonderful things you can do with your life. On top of that, you'll be blessed with peace of mind. You'll be calm and composed when things aren't going well. You'll handle the good things with grace. You'll find that in crises, things slow down. You'll have the sense that the world is your home court. You'll be comfortable competing there. When you retire, you'll like the face you see in the mirror. You'll go on to the next phase of your life and look for new things to learn, new things to do. And on your last day, you'll look back and think how lucky you were to have lived the life you did. That's how champions think. Once an individual has a philosophy, he should be ready to answer the question, "What if I fail?" He should understand that over the span of a lifetime, the only lasting failure is the failure to try. He appreciates the opportunity to find out what he can do with his life and career. Dr. Bob ROTELLA.